another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got a very awesome guest, a professional wrestling legend, someone that I've watched for a very long time, huge fan of his. And I live in Philly, and of course, he was known in ECW as Raven. And I'm really looking forward to talking to him about his brand new film. And we're going to be talking all about the film, all about his wrestling life, and I'm really looking forward to this. My guest is Raven. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show, and my interview with the legendary Raven will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Rume, and as always, my Gruelings. Welcome to my nightmare, so stay tuned. All right. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for coming on and being my guest, man. I appreciate it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, like, the first time I started asking you is you have a film out, Nevermore, and it's an amazing film. Like, I was at the screening that you recently had in Philly.
Oh, were you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was so good. And how are you approached about the film, and why did you want to do it?
Sorry, this stupid lighting is driving me nuts. I just got a new lamp. That's better. Yeah, I got an email from Jordy Day, the director, and he said he wanted to make a movie about me, and so I thought he was full of crap. Then it turned out he wasn't, that he heard me on Steve Austin's podcast and thought I'd make an interesting documentary subject.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And like, was it cool, like, going around with him, like just traveling and riding with him and telling your stories and
Yeah, but it was painful too, though, because I ripped open a lot of Band-Aids that were sealed up, healed up. I mean, I've dealt with all the issues before on the psychologist's couch, but, I made sure that I didn't want to just have a rah-rah movie. I wanted to make sure it was, it showed the negative traits as well as the positive, that it showed my, mental illness and my, all the negative traits I have. And so it's painful dealing with all that stuff again,
Yeah. It's you're absolutely right. It's opening up wounds and stuff you thought you closed.
Yeah, I mean, I know you never get over it. I mean, you never. It always stays with you, and I just learned to deal with it. But I was content with it, but. Just facing it all again, all in 2 hours, all condensed, and all the different things, and in a video capacity too. So you're watching it, you're not just talking about it. It all just was really, it's really painful to watch. It's easier. It's getting easier to talk about now, though, since I've been talking about it for weeks now. But
yeah, like, are you able to act to, like, when you go to the screenings and all, like, are you can you like sit through the movie or
no, I mean, I have, if I have to, if I have nothing better to do, but I prefer to go out and get something to eat and just come back when it's over.
Oh yeah, definitely makes sense.
So, do you have a tick, I guess?
What's that?
Do you have a tick, I guess?
Well, I got like a speech issue, yeah.
No, you do really well. No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Thank you.
Do you have is it normally, are you like nervous or something, or does it get worse when you're nervous?
No, it gets worse when I'm like really nervous, but yeah, like it's a speech issue that I've had from when I was a kid. Like, I went to like so many different therapists trying to cure it, nothing ever worked, and now I just learned to deal with it everyday life. That when I first
Yeah,
started when I
yeah,
first
no,
started doing the
that's
show,
amazing. It's amazing that you deal with it so well.
it took a long time getting there. All throughout like your childhood and teenage years, like I got teased and
That
bullied
sucks.
for my speech and stuttering, and they would always like laugh at me in school when I would try to read something, and it took like a lot for me to actually like get in front of a camera and try to do a show, like knowing how I talk, and I mean, I got used to it now.
Yeah, you got balls, man. You
Thank
got big
you.
balls.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed. That's why I was wondering. Like I noticed things like it's not like it's that noticeable either. It's just
Mhm.
I happen to notice stuff a lot. You know, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm sorry, but it's
Oh no,
just
I always
I was
talk
just
about
thinking
it.
that the Raven character must have been inspirational to you
Oh, definitely, definitely.
because Raven's a mental illness idiot. Yeah, no, it's just, but it's I guess it's just it's painful when you have to revisit it,
Hmm.
but I did it because I want to help people. You know what I mean? I want people to see my story and help to understand me better, but also to help them to so mental illness doesn't stay in the closet. You
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
and yeah, you should be really proud of yourself. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you really should. Yeah, I wish you would have introduced yourself at the Philly showing.
I mean, I did come up to you and say hi and stuff,
Well,
and
no, but I mean, I wish you would have told me I was doing your podcast.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would have talked to you a little longer.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I was watching that film, like you were talking about, like it did resonate with me because I saw everything you were going through, and it definitely resonated because, like I said, like being someone who was bullied, who was teased, who was different than everybody else because
Sure.
everyone spoke perfectly, and I was the only one in the school that had like a speech issue, and I was always like different and the outcast, and everyone would like be in their own little groups and not want me there because they thought I was weird or different,
That is
and
so sad.
and that's why I like watching your film, like it really struck a chord because like that's what Raven was, and Raven was like for people like me, like the people that were the outcasts and the outsiders, and that's why I resonated so well with the character of Raven and of course the film.
Yeah, I'm glad I was some sort of help for you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
The it's it's a shame kids are so mean, you know what I mean? Kids are just cruel.
Oh, I know, it's
Yeah, you
bad.
would know better than anybody, yeah. But are you happy now?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I mean, like I don't really get bothered with it anymore. Like if I'm doing a podcast or interview, of course I'll read like some messages, and some people would like say, "Oh, this guy is stumbling over his words. He don't know what he's talking about. He's not a good interviewer." I'm like, That's not the case." I'm like, I
No,
stumble
you're a
over
good
my words
interviewer.
because
You're a
I
good interviewer.
thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
and, and like about like the movie and Raven, and Raven always struggled like for ac- acceptance, and that's
Acceptance,
why
yeah.
his promos were so real and so good, and was it hard for you like to go into that spot and like make Raven promos like so like real and raw?
No, not so much. I mean, it was even though I pulled a lot from my own pain, it
Mm-hmm.
was like I was acting, so I wasn't feeling it as much as I should as I you know it was like portray, I guess it's almost like in therapy they have you talk with puppets sometimes.
Yeah.
And I was like that was Raven was my puppet I was talking through, sort of. Now I hadn't thought about it like that until just now, but you made me think of that, and that's what I feel like it was kind of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. I never thought of that before. That just popped in my head. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but it probably was like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And like what? Because I saw like you had other
Oh,
characters you
oh, oh.
did, and
But also because like I always had a wall up. I always had a wall up, a defense wall. So, and I've always defaulted on being happy. Like so,
hmm
even when I'm miserable, 5 minutes later I'm happy, which is really lucky. But I also don't deal with issues so like that often because of that. I'd rather just push them aside and just not
Yep.
worry about them, until I had to, until I had to see a psychologist and a shrink. Um, yeah, you
Yeah,
were
no,
saying,
I get it. I get it.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, like, I dealt with like issues too, and had to see therapists for both like my speech
I
and
think I think everybody should see a therapist.
I think so. It does help.
It does. I mean, everybody's got baggage. Everybody, like I actually wrote on my like when people used to write checks back in the day. I don't know if you're old enough for checks.
Oh no, yeah, of course.
I wrote there's a note on my checks where it says, where you can write like a little phrase or something. I guess, people write happy phrases. I put, you ought to see a shrink.
There's so many people because I'm a big supporter of mental of seeing therapists and stuff like that because I've had to see them
Sure.
and there's so many people that are so close-minded and when you tell them like you're seeing a therapist, they think you're crazy and they don't want nothing, they don't want to talk to you. They're like, oh, this guy's crazy. You
It's
see the therapist.
embarrassing. It's
I know,
embarrassing
like,
to people, but it shouldn't be. It's like if you have a broken arm, you put a cast on it. You wouldn't just
yes,
walk around with a broken arm, and
exactly.
if your brain's broken, then you got to get something. You got to get fixed. Whether it's just talking it out with a therapist, or whether it's getting medication for it. Like I've had numerous friends get saved by therapy. Not numerous,
Mhm.
but a few friends do get therapy because of my suggestion that they do, and it helped them so much. But that's the argument I used to convince them to go. Because they were like, "Man, I don't want to see a shrink. I'm a weirdo then if I see a shrink." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You have imperfect parts. You're not. There's damage in your brain. And whether it's from psychological pain or it's physical pain or from physical ailments, physical damage because it's short of a certain chemical or something, then that's what you need to get there. Either a shrink for medication or a therapist for help.
Definitely, definitely. That's why I hate when people are so close-minded with that kind of stuff and they're scared to talk to someone or they think that people are going to think they're weird or crazy. Like it doesn't make sense. I mean, therapy helps. That's why it's called that. That's why it's called therapy. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I bet I've been lucky. I've had good therapists, but I bet a lot of therapists are terrible at their job, just like anything else.
That's true. That's true.
They in the military when I was in the Marine Corps, they always used to say there's 10% in every group. It's the fuck ups and the screw ups and the idiots and the ones who mess it up for everybody else. And I find that's accurate. Maybe
It
even a
is.
little higher than 10%. You
True,
know,
true.
so I'm sure people get. So my point being is, I'm sure people have had bad experiences, so that lends people to not want to go to a therapist again, or whatever. But yeah, I really think everybody should. Everybody that has any issues, I mean, everybody has issues, but anybody that has an issue really preying upon them, they should
Hmm.
definitely go seek help. It's like on Will and Grace. Will went to get therapy once, and he goes, "This is great." He goes, "It's like you're in a guest show for an hour. You're the guest star on a talk show for an hour. You're the only guest there, and everybody's fascinated by what you have to say."
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
that
definitely.
was from the show, and I was like, that's so accurate.
That's a good show too. I used to watch that when it was on.
Yeah.
and, look, I saw like from watching a movie and following you, like I saw like you had like a couple different characters and the Raven character, like what inspired like everything about Raven, like the look, the clothes, and that amazing song, "Gotta Keep Them Separated." Like what inspired all that?
Well, I wanted to change my character from Chicken Shit Heel. It was DD. I talked to DDP, and he gave me the advice that I need to stop being a chicken shit heel because no one's buying it. Like he goes, just because it's good doesn't mean anybody wants to use it as a character. You know what I mean? And nobody really was into chicken shit heel. So he said you got to be a tough guy. I was like, I could be a tough guy. Anybody can be a tough guy, but there's no art to it. There's no subtlety and nuance. But I said, all right, then I'll just be a tough guy. I go, and then he suggested, he goes, you ever see that movie Point Break with the Red Hot Chili
Hmm.
Peppers? He goes, you remind me of those dudes because I wore my hair out. I had ripped up jean shorts, leather jacket, basically Raven wear, Doc Martens, and basically he pointed me in that direction, and then I came up with the character after that. So he was definitely instrumental in pointing me in the right direction. But then I was sitting there at home and I was thinking, how do what do I do? What do I need a name for this character? And I go, let's see, the Crow. I saw the Crow, and I go, his name was Eric Draven.
Yeah.
Draven, Raven, quote the Raven nevermore. And boom, I had a name and a catchphrase.
Oh my God, I love
It was
it.
that quick, yeah. And then the outfit just came together in like 5 minutes or less than that. And then I was ready to go. And then it was just a matter of getting the character down pat, and revealing some of my own baggage.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's a funny story. My mom, she called me up after the Raven character started getting over, and she goes, "Listen, I don't want you talking bad about me and your father anymore, And yeah, even though my dad had passed away, but she's like, I still don't want you talking, I don't think it's very respectful, blah blah blah. And then like a couple weeks later, I talked to her, and I was like, well, I kind of cut back, and she goes, oh, it's okay. I go, how come? She goes, oh, don't worry about it, it's all right. And I talked to my sister, and it turned out my mom had gotten all kinds of pops from her friend for the character, for her son being on TV and whatever, and so she didn't mind it so much then.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
And like that's what I loved about Raven, because like he's an everyday guy, like just coming out with the ripped up shorts and that's how everybody was dressing then.
yeah.
And he was like just an everyday guy. He wasn't like this over the top character, and he was real, and the promos, everything came from the heart. Like the promos were real, and like your ring psychology was amazing too, and that putting that all together inside Raven was like absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And ECW, like when I was younger, I used to go to like all the ECW shows, and because I live
How old were you
in
then?
Philly. I think I was in what was I like? I was a teenager then, because like I always lived in Philly, and I was a couple blocks from the ECW, and every time there was a show there, I would
Oh,
go. I
you
was
live near
always there.
Swanson and Rittner?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where at?
I'm actually on Sixth and Dickinson. It's like
Yeah,
not
yeah.
too far from there. Yeah, yeah.
Dickinson's one of the minier streets, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not the fat street like like Oregon Avenue, or it's one
Yeah,
of the small streets, right?
yeah. Definitely,
It's right.
definitely.
It's next to 10th Avenue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Wait, I'm thinking the wrong direction. I'm thinking, is it parallel with 10th?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm more on like Sixth Street.
Right, but it goes up by, but it's only like, well, 'cause I lived on 10th and South, and Dickinson
Oh,
was right
okay.
around the corner, wasn't it, from me?
Dickinson wasn't far. Like it wasn't right around the corner on the South Street, because it's more deeper in like South Philly. Like it's like Dickinson, Tasker, Reed, Wharton. It's
Right,
like around that
right,
area. Yeah.
right. That's what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah. Like I would like be at those shows all the time, and of course, like no one could forget your feud with Dreamer, and my personal feud was with Hack, was with Sandman, and oh my god, like that feud was crazy, and it got real, because like you in the involved like his real life son and his like girlfriend too.
yeah. It was his wife. It was his
Well, his
wife.
wife, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Tyler was great, wasn't he? I
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
wonder if we damaged him though. You know, giving him too much fame at an early age. You know what I mean? Like I asked him about that. He said he's fine now. So that makes me feel good though.
Good, good.
But yeah, but I feel like putting him in that spot, and like all his younger brothers are all jealous of him.
Yeah, I mean he was in like a big spot. Like
Yeah,
he was with Raven. Like he turned on his father for Raven.
yeah. What a silly kid. I love the video with the promo where he had his birthday party with the
Mm-hmm.
Blue Meanie, and the Blue Meanie's trying to entertain him. The kid was amazing too. He always hit his lines perfectly. It was great.
Oh, wow. Nice. And you show it in the film too, like the whole when you were feuding with him, and the whole like crucifixion thing, like that was crazy, and I remember like going there seeing that. I was like, oh wow, I said this is like really real now.
Yeah, yeah. That was good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do you have like I mean, do you have like a favorite moment like wrestling for them, like wrestling in ECW, and for Paul Heyman and everything?
Yeah, I think it's two moments. I think it's the double dog collar match with me and Stevie against the Pitbulls, because
Hmm.
like all the kinds of feuds coalesced into at the end of that. Like Fonzie, the referee, the Bay Hill referee, got chokeslammed finally, and Dreamer got chokeslammed by Big Dick Dudley, and all kinds of craziness happened at the end of that. And and plus, it was a great match. I feel like, and the other one was the Gordy match because I made it. With Stevie's help, of course, because Stevie's always was there. I was
Hmm.
able to make the world think that the old Gordy, was back, as opposed to the one who had brain damage from the overdose.
Yeah, nah, I remember those. Yeah.
I'll get this lighting right by the right as we finish the
It's all,
thing. Yeah, but it's driving me nuts because I have to look at it. So it's like it won't stay. The light won't stay reflecting the right way.
oh my
Who
God.
driving me? It's driving me nuts. I gotta get a professional in here to put a lighting package in here. What do you have?
Oh,
What kind of light do you have?
I just have like a regular light that you attach to the top of the phone because I'm doing it on my phone, and you just put the light on top of the phone and like basically shines in your face and blinding you.
Yeah, that's how this does. But see, I get that white moon glow, like I'm living on the moon.
Yeah, yeah, but the ECW stuff was like the, the best. Like I used to love that, and even like one angle like a lot of people don't really talk a lot about. It was classic, like when you were working with Foley and trying to
Oh
get
yeah,
Foley away from like the hardcore stuff. Like a lot of people don't talk about that one.
yeah. That was I love that. And that was all Cactus, really. That was mostly his ideas. The my biggest contribution to that was when he would grab the headlock and then he would sit like he was gonna fight, and then he would just take the guy over and sit there. I go, why don't you? I go after we did that. After he did that, I go next time. I go, why don't you throw him out to the floor? So it looks like you're gonna go hardcore, grab the headlock, and sit on the floor. Sit on the floor now. And we did that, and it got so much heat. That was my favorite contribution to it to that program.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Was was there like was there any storyline like you thought of in wrestling that you wish they would have used? Because like I was saying earlier, like the your ring psychology for wrestling is absolutely amazing, and I know you always had like different ideas and stuff for characters. And was there anything that you wanted, like a storyline you wanted that was like shot down?
Not that it was shot down, but I started the Seven Deadly Sins, but then Vince was super high on it. In fact, he told me he wanted me to quit, to quit wrestling and be in a booking committee, or just to be in a booking committee, and because after he heard the storyline, and he knew me from before too when I was there as Johnny
Mhm.
Polo. So
Yeah.
when he was grooming me for the booking committee, and so he so we started to do that, but in the meantime, Pat got in his ear, and Pat's like, "Yeah, Raven, he's not good enough for that story. We have to do it on Heat." And so they had me do it on Heat, and then they did it a couple of weeks, and then they stopped, and then they canceled it, and just let me go, and then that was it. So it was the shits. So I still have that storyline that I'll probably read on my podcast at some point and give out the whole storyline, but as of now, I just haven't got around to it, I guess. Or I guess I was saving it in case I can use somebody, like I can give it to somebody else to use, but I
Hi.
probably, it's too long a storyline probably for most people to tastes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned like your time in WWE as Johnny Polo, and was it? I know like anyone that watched your film saw like you actually wrote a letter to WWE and Vince saying that you wanted to leave and you gave your resignation. And
Sure.
was that scary for you, like to leave like a big place like the WWE and not knowing like what the next move was going to be?
It should have been, but I was too stupid to realize that, I think. I think I just believed in myself so much that I knew that I hoped or knew it would work out and didn't really have a backup plan.
But everything worked though, because
Yeah,
like
everything worked out pretty
you got to
well.
become Raven.
Yeah, it all pretty much worked out well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even like your stuff in WCW W too. Like I love the stuff that you did in there and matches you had there and I was always hoping because like you and my Macho Man were kind of almost the same because like you, Raven was this intense character and Randy was always 24 hours
Sure.
intense and I always wanted to see something with that like you and Macho Man like having like this feud and stuff and it it you almost had like an interaction with him because I remember when Randy like wrestled like a couple guys from like Raven's flock and stuff.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, we never. He didn't. I don't think he wanted to work with somebody who wasn't as a top guy, though. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I wouldn't have been on his radar to work with. You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah, to work with top guys, you can only work with. You have to. You only top guys only work with other top guys. But how do you become a top guy unless the top guys will let you work with them? And that
Exactly.
was that was the thing. Like DDP got in because like they brought him up to the top level, and he tried to bring me up too, but it didn't go. So it only went so far. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I mean, you had like a great little feud too with Dallas and
Yeah,
even in the movie, like I loved. I actually remember watching that when Dallas is on M MTTV and you're on the
yeah,
television and all of a sudden you show up in like real life and like even flow him and stuff and
yeah. Hit him with a stop sign and even float him to a table.
yeah, that was great.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters were there as guests. It was like the pre-runner of TRL, and
Yes, yes.
uh, and they jumped out of their seats. They nearly shit their pants. It was so funny.
Oh, so they didn't even have an
Yeah, nobody
idea that
knew
you were.
except no, except I don't even know if the host knew or he might have known. I forget his name now. What's his name?
Oh God, well, Carson Daly, I think it
Carson
was.
Daly. That's it. Yeah.
That is so funny. Like like no one knew you were gonna be. I mean, Dallas, of course, knew, but like
Right.
no one else knew. And 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 then like talking about like Philly and stuff. The when you came back as Raven in that building for MLW, like that was amazing stuff too, because like we saw Raven in a different light. Like Raven was a manager now instead of
Sure.
a wrestler, and you still brought like Raven to the show, and even though you were managing, like you everyone was still focused on Raven. What's Raven going to do? How's he going to manage the group? And how was your time there as Raven?
It was fun. It was cool. I enjoyed working at MLW. Yeah, I always like going back to Philly. I was born in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
so I always like going back. It's one of my favorite cities in the world.
Oh, nice.
I love the architecture there.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
I love the fact that City Hall is planted right down in the middle of the two most busiest streets in the city, and just smack dab in the middle.
That is true.
It's
That is
awesome.
true. And, I remember at the Philly screening for the film, like you were mentioning you're a big fan of anime and Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of anime lately. Still love cartoons, so you know, yeah, I find it very entertaining.
Is there any animes you love watching? Like, are there some shows you like over others?
Yeah, I forget on the names because they all blend together,
Yeah,
kind of.
sure.
But Dan to Dan is really good if you're looking for a recommendation.
Okay.
It's also on Netflix, I think too.
Oh wow,
I think it's
nice.
on Netflix. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I think I watched some anime on Netflix, and that's what got me into watching it on Crunchyroll.
All right, okay, okay.
But some of it's still so ridiculously goofy, though.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like the really goofy stuff. I like the more serious, like supernatural type stuff.
Definitely, definitely. That's the kind that I like because I'm a huge horror fan, and if I'm watching an anime, I like watching like the horror vibe ones.
Cool. Hey, listen, I got to get running.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I told you half hour. I
It's all
apologize.
right. No, it's all right. I had fun talking to you. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you, thank you. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome, man. I wasn't looking forward to it tonight because I was looking at just taking a nap. And the but no, I had a really good time, man. I'm glad we discussed mental illness and we discussed the
Mhm.
movie and you covered all the stuff that I wanted to talk about, man. So thank you. So
Oh,
yeah, let me just
awesome.
say though that the movie comes out on Amazon November 18th, Amazon Prime. You can watch it there, and I think everybody will enjoy it. Anybody who's a wrestling fan will definitely enjoy it, and anybody who likes biographies that deal with people's baggage, they'll like it. You know, because I got a bizarre, crazy story that I've told that I think people just find interesting. Because it's a lot of it's a lot like a rock star biography. There's a lot of pain and there's a lot of drugs and partying and women and yeah, it's a lot of rock and roll.
Definitely. Well, thanks again, Raven. Like I really appreciate it. Have an amazing weekend.
Thank you, man. You too.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.